Thank you for that. And just to show that we are a sort of top-to-tail programme, we're going to go from legs to teeth. Because Mark's here, because if your efforts to dodge the dentist drill involve little more than a quick douse with a dab of toothpaste at the end of the day, you're not alone, because a recent survey found most of us don't bother nearly enough when it comes to treasuring our teeth. But bad dental hygiene is often responsible for far more than a few fillings. Aches, pains and ulcers are all relatively common. So here to reveal how to give your mouth a proper MOT is our resident-friendly dentist, Marc Mortiboys.
Hello again.
Now, as I said there, it's not just tooth decay and fillings that you have to think about here. There's far more, like mouth ulcers and things like that.
Absolutely. Well, what fascinates me is how the nation seems to be so naive that general infections, general ill health can actually be created from the mouth. And modern medical establishments are very sure, and there's a lot of research showing that there is a lot of ill health coming from the bacteria from the mouth, viruses in the mouth, fungal infections. There's now concern about sharing toothbrushes, for example, that you might be picking up infections from other people. So certainly one recommendation is get your own toothbrush and stick to it. Yeah.
This is lovely breakfast.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Well, we're going to talk about a couple of different things, as I say, with we've got a couple of people on the line, not just about teeth, because first of all, we're going to talk to Jim Elgin from London. Morning, Jim.
Hiya.
Now, you had a little bit of a problem actually going to the dentist, didn't you?
Well, I still have a problem, in fact. Yeah, I went to see the dentist a couple of months ago to have a filling, and he gave me an injection which made sort of my cheek went numb and my tongue. And then, normally, sort of a couple of hours later, the feeling comes back. And my face was fine, but the end of my tongue stayed numb.
For how long was that?
Well, I mean, after about a week, it was still numb. So I went and I saw the receptionist and told her about this. And she said it could take between 6 months and a year. And she said, but the one thing she said it's not usually permanent. And the thing is, 2 months later, it's still numb.
Not usually.
This is what worries me.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll just ask Mark about this. What on earth could have happened there?
Okay. Hi, Jim.
Hiya.
Yeah, just one question before I answer, maybe a little bit further, is have you had any slight improvement whatsoever in the last 2 weeks? Is it exactly the same as before?
It's hard to tell, really, because it's the kind of thing that sometimes you think, yeah, maybe it's better, and then other times you think, maybe it's not. Okay.
Well, I certainly feel, to give you confidence, Jim, I'd like to reiterate that it is incredibly rare for this to be a permanent condition.
Yeah.
It's highly likely that, because the needle is so thin, it's probably just likely that the needle's just like touched the nerve and caused some kind of inflammation around there. And the inflammation can take, I mean, some people, I think that's an over-exaggeration, saying about a year. I would certainly give it another 2 months.
Yeah.
And then if there's been no change, or if it's only a mild improvement, I'd go back to that dentist and demand to be referred to dental school and be taken under wing by somebody in the oral medicine department or even oral surgery department, and just have yourself more thoroughly tested.
Yeah.
Is this something that's actually worrying you, Jim, then?
Well, obviously, yeah. Because I thought that maybe I'll never get the feeling back in my tongue.
Yeah, that's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Even a severed nerve can actually sort of grow back, and all that's happened really with a thin needle like that is that it's just been touched. What I could advise also, being a holistic dentist, is to look at some natural ways that maybe reducing the inflammation and so helping the healing process. And a great homeopathic remedy is arnica. All homeopathic remedies, as we all know, are just purely natural and will just boost the system, and with arnica in particular, it reduces inflammation. So I'd recommend that, maybe go and see a homeopath, or just go and prescribe for yourself. Just go to any chemist. Boots, for example, even have their own range now. Yeah. Homeopathy is becoming very popular. And maybe even a naturopathic practitioner who might know some healing remedies just for inflammation.
You don't mean real arnica, do you? Because that's poisonous, isn't it? I believe.
No, the homeopathic preparation of arnica, yes, that's correct. And certainly, I'd like to give you confidence, Jim. It's highly unlikely that it's going to be permanent. And I think just by having that confidence, I think you might be able to mentally just let go a little bit of it and just live your life. And then you might just find profoundly that it just will shift quite quickly.
So it needs to relax and things like that as well.
Yeah, I'd like to think that's sometimes the bigger problem is we're always mentally focusing on the thing. It can be kind of imagined up to a point.
Well, Jim, I hope we've helped you relax there at least.
Yes.
Thank you for that, and good luck. I hope it all comes back to you eventually.
Wish you well, Jim.
Now, we'll move on, because Brenda Burgess from Carlisle is on the line. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning.
Now, you're having problems, as we're saying, not just teeth we're talking about here, you're having problems with your tongue.
That's right.
What's been happening to you?
Well, I've had it now for 2 years. I started with a soreness on the end of the tongue, I went to see my GP, and he referred me to the dentist. After the dentist had a look, she found that my two bottom front teeth were very slightly slack. And she said that there was a sharp area between the two teeth where they actually meet.
And that was actually scratching your tongue?
That's correct. That's scratching the end of my tongue all the time. Now, she's tried filing it down several times, and she said she can't do it anymore because it would take the enamel off. She made me a plastic shield to clip on, the type that boxers wear. I wear that at night in bed because I find it's worse in bed because I'm lying thinking about it. I've tried Ambisol, all the antiseptics for the mouth. She's told me that I'm too old to have a brace fitted. I asked her about having them out. She said that was rather drastic.
From all this, Brenda, I would guess that it hasn't worked. Have you still got a sore tongue then?
I'm still having the sore tongue. I'm chewing gum every day to stop the tongue touching the teeth. And as I say, I'm now getting, every few weeks, I'm getting mouth ulcers, which I wasn't getting before.
Good Lord. Let's ask Mark about this.
Thank you.
What on earth's going on there?
There seems to be a lot going on. It's Brenda, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is, Mark.
Yeah, hi there, Brenda. I certainly feel that from what you've been saying is you've had enough coverage of an external cause. You've had 2 years of investigation, and I'd like to think that that's probably the best approach initially, is let's iron out, if we're playing Sherlock Holmes with a condition, let's iron out maybe the external causes first of all, especially if there are some possible sources, like there maybe was a slack tooth or a sharp edge. But it seems like your dentist has been very thorough, even creating this night guard. So my feelings is the next area to look at, if you're pretty sure you've covered externally, is to start looking internally, because you'll be amazed at how many conditions, from hormonal imbalances, nutritional imbalances, blood disorders, even intestinal problems, can actually create a sore tongue.
But they would actually make her tongue sore, those
absolutely,
kind of things?
Yes.
Has that occurred to you at all, Brenda? Would you have imagined that?
Well, I have actually. I've even taken into consideration side effects of tablets I'm taking.
Yeah.
But the fact that it remains, I can still feel the actual sharpness of the tooth with my fingers.
Right. So one final bit of advice, Mark, just...
Well, maybe a bit of a red herring. I would certainly also urge you to, if it's been for 2 years now, I would certainly recommend that you get medically checked, either by traditional doctors. You'll be recommended to maybe see an oral medicine department at a dental school, or even go to holistic practitioners, especially the Chinese and the Eastern, from the Orient. They in fact study health symptoms or ill health symptoms showing up in the tongue. It's actually a whole science, just tongue diagnosis. So I thoroughly recommend that.
I have actually seen an orthodontic specialist.
So
I waited 8 months for an appointment, and I went for another reason. I had an X-ray done of the mouth. I mentioned the teeth and the soreness, and I was told your dentist can smooth them down.
Right,
which she'd already done.
That's as far as you got.
So I've gone round in circles, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Well, it seems
I'm afraid
like
we're going to have to leave it there because we've run out of time. Just good luck with that, Brenda, really. And just one line very, very quickly about what we should do to keep our mouths healthy, apart from brushing, that is.
Yeah. Well, you'll be amazed how many people actually don't brush effectively. They may say they brush twice a day. So if you want to actually test yourself, remember those pink tablets at school? Those things, they're called Disclose. Yeah, stain your teeth, stain your tongue, stain your lips. Well, certainly recommend you test yourself. Brush your teeth first, and then suck one of those pink tablets, and you'll be horrified at how much you actually leave behind. And then you have to brush it off, because otherwise you'll be showing all this pink stuff to everyone.
You could be brushing all
day.
We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for that, Mark. But if you'd like us to investigate a problem on your behalf, don't forget to ring our hotline. And this week, we'd especially like to hear from you if you've had problems with a credit card.